Hello, I'm Scott Wrighton. Thanks for joining us for our weekly updates on what's going on with the city. So yesterday, there were 16 new cases of COVID here in Macon County, compared to about 1,540 or so statewide. So about 1% of the statewide total is here in Macon County. Our positivity rate is now 3.2% and rising. Several weeks ago, when I was reporting to you about the positivity rate, it was about 2.5%. So it has inched up now to 3.2% and rising. Statewide, that positivity rate is over 4.1% and also rising. So we need to be concerned about these numbers. We continue to believe, as does the State Health Department, that avoiding large gatherings, large social groups, engaging in social distancing, and regular use of masks is the most preventive step and the most preventive strategy. Now, I realize that some of these things require that we change our routines. Sometimes it takes a while to change our routines and make something new into a habit. Humans resist change, but if you make a conscious effort, in time, that can become a new habit. I carry my mask in my car or in my pocket, and sometimes I remember to bring it out and sometimes I don't, but more and more I'm remembering as we get closer to making it into a habit. For some of us, the need to do these things, the social distancing and the wearing of the masks, may not become real until someone that we know personally is suffering from COVID. I'm going to tell you, more and more of us are in that category of knowing someone personally who suffers from COVID. I do. The mask that I was wearing today is one of the masks, one of the very different types of masks that the city gives away. And as a side note, I want to say, if you need a mask, then contact the city. We've given many of them away. But this particular mask advertises the importance of the census. Now, we've covered the census before in some of these weekly gatherings, but I want to mention it again for a couple of reasons. The first is that at the end of October, the U.S. Census Bureau's field work for the census is expected to draw to a close. So for those people who haven't done the census online or by mail or some other method, then the Census Bureau has teams out in the field that will be coming to your door and trying to get the information for the census. So I wanted you to know that. Second, in an era of COVID, we just assume that they not come to your door. So visit 2020census.gov or call the city or some other way so that you can get that census taken care of. It's important that everyone do that so that they're counted, but it's also important because, as has been reported in the news, the city of Decatur, like many other jurisdictions here in Macon County, is going to have some tough budget times, especially in 2021, and there are some difficult decisions to make. But here in Illinois, many of the revenues that local governments receive is based directly on our head count, on the census. So what the census number turns out to be and officially certified for 2020 is going to have a direct impact for the next 10 years on our city budget. So the mayor and city council are committed to trying to solve our financial problems without having to increase taxes. But you can help out by making sure that you've participated in the census this year. And that's why it matters, because it affects our budget, it affects taxes, it affects the bottom line, and it affects the nature of the service delivery that we're able to provide to all the citizens of Decatur. So I mentioned the budget before, and you've heard some discussion perhaps in the media about some of the different options that the council might have a chance to talk about as they prepare for the 2021 budget. We operate on a calendar year fiscal year, meaning that the budget will be for January 1 to December 31 of 2021. So we have several months for the city council to put together a budget. They're not required by law to actually adopt the budget until sometime in December. We traditionally start at the end of the summer and early September thinking about the budget and bringing options to the city council. Much of that discussion by the city council will take place in what we call study sessions. These aren't regular city council meetings where there's votes on ordinances and contracts and other resolutions. These are more informal meetings of the mayor and city council where they sort of roll up their sleeves and talk about issues and give staff direction, consider different options, dive into the data a little bit. But there's no action taken at study sessions. These are just discussion sessions. And much of the budget for 2021 will be developed that way. So these are study sessions that are televised as well, so you can watch them by clicking online or on the city's cable channel. You can read the packet ahead of time, which is also posted on the city's website, or you can participate in the discussion by coming to the study sessions yourself, where there's a time for people to talk about whatever the topic that has been advertised for that study session. You know, 2020 is a year that we're likely all to remember. It's a time of unprecedented change and disruption. Going through times like this can put us all on edge a little bit. Now, the city's certainly not qualified to tell you how to handle any kind of anxiety or uneasiness that might come with adapting to change. But, you know, I found that it's easier to lean into changes a little bit rather than to fiercely resist it. And we'll be taking those new changes, those new initiatives, those options to sessions like this and to those study sessions in the future. So I invite you to stay tuned. So until next time, thank you for watching and for helping us make Decatur better.